Hey guys, what's up? I am BlackOpsAmazing and welcome back to another zombies video on the channel, back yet again with another zombies Q&A, taking your questions from the comment section below and answering them. If there's anything that you want to know to do with zombies, you know what to do. Leave your comments down below. To do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, or maybe just some other things in general, it really doesn't matter. But if you enjoyed this one, drop a like rating at any time you feel like it. Could we shoot for 1k likes on this video? Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest ones. And of course, when you're ready, let's get into it. So here we go with the first couple of questions for today from I'm Scorpio, and this person says, how did Dolphin get to Shadows of Evil to take the summoning key? And also, why are there giant spiders in Zetsubo-no-Shima? How did they come to be? PS, keep up the great work. So I did have to rephrase your first question, it's a little bit confusing, but what I think you are trying to say is, how come Dolphin knew exactly when to come out of the rift and take the summoning key? How did he know at that exact point in time that the characters were going to hand it over to the keepers? How did he know to come out of the rift at that time and take it out of their hands? Well, we know that not too long before this, Dolphin learnt of the summoning key's location from the Kanuri. He read it, and since that book tells you everything that's related to who's ever reading it, which was Dolphin, it told him the location of the Kanuri, and so he travelled to Morgue City where it was located to secure it. But as we know, when he got there, he learned that the reporter had the summoning key and so tried to confront him, but the reporter, who had been told by Dr. Monty not to give it to anyone, told Dolphin to stay away. Dolphin didn't, he kept walking up to him, and so the reporter attacked Dolphin, and in self-defense, Dolphin killed the reporter. And so he thought that now the reporter was gone, he could just take the summoning key, but it wasn't that simple. As we know, the summoning key had actually been locked in a box sealed by magic, and it could only be opened by those who have the powers to open it. Clearly that wasn't Dolphin, and so what he did was went back through the rift and just waited. He watched on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect time as to when he could get his hands on it. He needed someone to open the box so he could get the summoning key. He couldn't do that for himself. And so, as we know, not too long after, the Shadows of Evil characters ended up in a twisted version of Morgue City, which was shifted slightly from reality. They were marked by the beast, and so they had the ability to open the crate. That's what they did. They took the summoning key. As we know, they were tricked by the Shadow Man, but eventually they realized that it was actually him who was evil, so they killed him, or not killed him I wouldn't say, but trapped him inside of the summoning key. And then at the end, as we see in the cutscene, the characters are about to hand it over to the keepers. Dolphin sees this as his perfect opportunity, and so quickly jumps out of the rift, takes the summoning key out of their hands, and then leaves. So that's the whole situation of Dolphin obtaining the summoning key explained, but your second question was, why are there giant spiders in the map Zetsubo-no-Shima? How did they come to be? Now this one isn't told to us in the Kanuri, but it's pretty basic to understand, and they were clearly made by Division 9. Just how in that map we also see they made the thrashers, they also made plants that come to life and can eat you, well they also made these giant spiders as well. As we know, what Division 9 did in these labs on this island was experimentation to include the use of prisoners of war, Division 9 staff, arachnids, so spiders, and mystical beasts, which were the dragons. Division 9 were combining humans with spiders with plant life, all of these together with element 115. We also know they used Takeo as a test subject for their organic plant-based experiments and turned him into a giant thrasher. So the spiders, just like everything else, are the result of experiments by Division 9. They combined them with 115 with plant life, and this is the result, giant spiders. So hopefully that answers your two questions. The next one from Bull Rice says, BOA, who made the Kanuri and why was it made? Now that's one I can't answer because we don't know who made the Kanuri. In fact, we don't know if it was made by anyone. Why was it made? We don't know. It is a book that tells you information based off the perspective of who's using it. And that to me sounds like magic's involved, and saying that, straight away you'd either think of Monty or maybe the Shadow Man. We really don't know too much about the Kanuri, but like I just said, as we were told by Jason Lundell himself, the writing in the Kanuri, the information inside it changes depending on who's reading it. If Dolphin reads it, in fact it is Dolphin who's reading it. If you look at the Kanuri right now, if you want to look at it for yourself, I will put a link down in the description. Every bit of information in there is linked to Dolphin in some way. Whether it's a link that's spread across 1,000 different paths, eventually down the line there is a link to Richtofen. Whether it's to do with Samantha, Richtofen, Division 9, Group 935, the Dragons, Gorod Karovi, Revelations, Viruct. Since all of that information is in the Kanurium and Richtofen's the one who was reading it, it is in some way, whether it's directly or indirectly, linked to Richtofen. You can even see down the bottom left hand corner of one of the pages, he has signed it. That's how we know he is the one who's reading it. However, if Takia was to read the Kanurium, then some of the information in here would be different. Some of it, of course, would be the same, since he's done some of these same things as Richtofen, but you can guess history on his family would be in here, maybe some other things that he's done in Japan to do with Division 9 and stuff like that. Maybe more information on how he ended up at Origins would be in the Kanurium that we haven't learned so far. But the reason why it would change and why we get new info is because we'd be looking at the Kanurium from a different reader, Takio. The same for Dempsey. If he was to read it, information in here would be different. We'd get new stuff. The same for Nikolai. If maybe Dr. Gersh picked up the Kanurium and he read it, a lot of information in here to us would be new. Obviously, there'd be stuff in there about Ascension and Yuri trapping him and then getting sent to the Pentagon. That'd be in there what we already knew, but a lot of new information would be in there that we don't know. And actually, I think this is a really cool idea. Just imagine how awesome it would be if Treyarch, maybe just to fill in this time gap between now and Black Ops 4, gave us the Kanurium again, but from the perspective of a different reader. Maybe this time Dempsey reads it, and a lot of the information is the same, but in there they can change some things, add some information that we didn't know last time that is linked to Dempsey. I think that'd just be really cool. But getting back to your question, like I said, I can't answer it. We don't know who made the Kanurium. It seems like it has something to do with magic. Was it Monty? We'll never know. Maybe it wasn't made by anyone and it just appeared out of thin air. Honestly, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. SharkX says, what do you prefer, the Dolphin Dive in Black Ops 2 or the slide in Black Ops 3? And in all honesty, I do prefer the slide. Dolphin Dive was awesome and it worked really well in Black Ops 1 and 2 because obviously we had PhD Flopper. It worked really well with that perk, but killing zombies, it wasn't really effective. Diving in front of them didn't really work out too well too many times. Whereas the sliding in Black Ops 3, it's another way to get around. It just makes it a little bit more interesting instead of walking everywhere, which can get boring sometimes, especially on the bigger maps. Sliding everywhere can actually be really cool, a little bit faster. I just think it's a little bit more useful compared to the Dolphin Dive. Like I said, Dolphin Diving was fun. I did want it back in Black Ops 3, but when they added sliding, I've got to say I actually do prefer it. So if we could have that back in Black Ops 4, or whatever it's going to be called, that'd be awesome. But you know what? I wouldn't even complain if we had Dolphin Diving. The next question of today from the DGG says, and I always get this one asked to me a lot for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but this person says, hey BOA, why is there a green staff in the Revelations cutscene? Now, like I said, I know exactly what you mean because so many people have asked me this, but if you take a look at the Zombies Chronicles trailer, you can see as we go on throughout this, under Samantha's bed, there is a staff, one of the elemental staffs from Origins, and you can see the light glowing from it seems to be green. Now, if we take a look at the Origin staffs, we can see we have the ice one, which is blue, the fire one, which is red, the wind one, which is yellow, and then the lightning, which is purple. But like you just said, if you go to the Zombies Chronicles trailer, under Samantha's bed, there is a staff with a green light glowing from it. So what is it? Well, actually, this looks to be the wind staff. As I just said, the original colour was yellow. Yellow and green are quite similar in colours, and if you take a look at some Origins gameplay, the staff definitely does look to be more yellow than green, 100%. But if you take a look at this gameplay, you can see when the wind staff is put in and it's finished, you can see it standing up and there is a green glow at the top. It's green when you put it in, but then it seems to be more yellow when you take it out. It's a little bit weird, and there's no point actually looking at the old version of Origins on Black Ops 2 because the wind staff really didn't have much colour, especially compared to the ice or the fire staff. It didn't really have too much colour to it, but you could slightly tell that it was yellow or maybe a really light green. They only added the effects and more colour to the staffs in the remade version of Origins. But as you were asking, getting back to the original trailer, if you go under the bed and look at it, it does look like the wind stuff. The colour is like a greenish with a little bit of a yellow tint to it. I don't know, maybe it's more green than yellow because it's under the bed. It's darker so the lighting's better. That could be one reason. I can see why this does get a lot of people confused, thinking that maybe it's a new staff or just saying, what the hell is this green stuff doing? I've never seen it before. But judging by the shape of it, with the kind of little wings sticking out on the side, this does seem to be the wind stuff. I mean, maybe there's the possibility that Treyarch put this in the trailer knowing that it would confuse people. Knowing that people would question what this actually is, maybe they purposefully made it more green than yellow, but like I said, I don't think there's any more to it. This does seem to be the wind staff. If you actually go in game and put it in the pedestal things, you can see that it is green. So there we go. I know green and yellow, quite similar colours. I suppose it could depend on your brightness as well, but there we go. So anyway, guys, there we go. That is all I have for you for today. If you have enjoyed the video, as always, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Don't worry, if not, it doesn't matter. It's up to you guys. Make sure you are subscribed. Click the notifications icon as well. Leave your comments down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.